SnowTrax is sponsored by Ski-Doo. What matters is what's next. Yamaha, conquer snow. And by FXR Racing, full throttle addiction.
So it's late season, last trip of the year. Pretty excited to get out and ride. Back home, we haven't had a great winter, so you know, hearing about BC getting big snow late season, I'm kind of stoked to go back out. We fly into Kelowna, BC. It's like green farm fields. People are wearing flip-flops and shorts. I don't even know if they got spring here because it sure feels like summer. We cruise up, we're going through Enderby and then into Salmon Arm, and I mean, the camera guy and I were looking at each other going, are you sure we're gonna be able to ride up here? There can't be any snow, you know? People must have been saying there's great snow in BC, but we were pretty shocked. So we're staying at the Prestige in Salmon Arm. It's a place that we've been before, and I mean, it's a hotel that is first class, offers all kinds of services from, you know, the restaurant to being right on the water and just offering, you know, beautiful mountain views. I mean, we were here once in the middle of winter, and we couldn't see the mountains because there was so much fog and cloud cover. We show up this time with this beautiful weather, and my goodness, I mean, this place is just surrounded by natural beauty. It's an amazing spot. It's a beautiful hotel. It has every amenity you could ask for. The rooms are big, everything's first rate, and I mean, it's the place we stay when we come out here. So we were going to be riding with Trent from Backus Racing. We've been out earlier this season and ridden with him. He works at the dealership there and you know, does some hill climbing and guiding and all kinds of different stuff. So he was going to be our host for this ride. But when we pull into Backus, we noticed that he was leaning on something. And as I got closer, I realized it was a cane, and he was kind of grinning. I got out and asked him what's going on, and he said he hurt himself practicing for the most recent hill climb. So he wasn't going to be able to ride with us, but his brother Tyler was going to take us out and show us around.
Trent was supposed to be here. We were out practicing for an upcoming hill climb that we got, and he fortunately fell off, broke his ankle. Kind of threw me into this last minute, but yeah, I wouldn't miss it. It's been a beautiful day. It's not bad snow.
These guys are great. They had everything on sled decks and just, you know, filled with fuel, ready to go. So we geared up at Backus into the trucks and headed out for hopefully some snow. So as we're driving with Tyler up to the hill, it goes from paved road to gravel, and then it goes to, like, you know, dirt logging road heading up into the altitude. And I mean, we're climbing up pretty high, you know, it's like 6, 8, 9K up there. And there's just nothing. I'm thinking, man, how far up here are we gonna have to go? And sure enough, you turn one corner and it goes from no snow to just a thin layer on the trail, and as you look up, you can just feel that cold kind of mist or fog coming off the snow as it's melting and evaporating. And I thought, it's gonna be good.
We went up Hunter's Range in Enderby, BC. We're up about 6,500 feet. We didn't think we'd have this kind of snow to begin with. Thought we'd have to go back a lot further and find some decent stuff, but we were fortunate we found some nice blocks with very little tracks in it.
And I realized really quickly, all the rumors about epic snow in BC are true this year. I mean, we got into big snow right away. And I mean, once we started about 10 kilometers in, it was very untouched, lots of fresh stuff. And one of the things about late season riding is it's either good or it's bad. And I knew right away, the sun's out, there's not a cloud in the sky, it's warm, it's nice, lots of vitamin D. I mean, we're all feeling good. The snow is deep, the conditions are great, there's all kinds of little features. I'm on POLARIS sleds, the new Axis 2016. We're gonna tear it up, we're gonna rip it up, we're gonna jump stuff, we're gonna find some things. It's gonna be a good day.
I had a conversation with a customer the other day, and we can't even remember the last time, how many years ago we had this kind of snow. If it keeps this up right now, it's starting to warm up pretty good, but we'll probably end up riding right till probably mid to end of July. Our riding style out here, it's kind of nice, creek draws, tight tree stuff. And we like to try and hunt for fresh snow all the time. The 2016 Axis works very well in that. It's super light, super nimble, effortless to ride. You pretty much just turn your head and look to where you want to go, and it goes.
The sleds that I was going to ride was a 55 RMK as well as a 63. The cameraman was riding the 63 on the way out. I was riding the 55. So I wanted to ride both of them during the day because, you know, there's benefits to each one. So I had 2 sleds for the day, which was great. I mean, can't ask for more than that. It was awesome. And these Polarises, they just handle so well up here. I mean, you get into any technical stuff, they handle well. The big open fields, the big side hills. I mean, you can wheelie, jump, you know, carve, side hill, do whatever you want with these sleds. They just keep coming back for more. So day one, I mean, I just can't say enough about it. I had such a good time. It was awesome. The Axes were great. But another Polaris product that I was really looking forward to riding were the TimberSleds. So I was pumped for day 2.
SnowTrax is sponsored by MBRP Performance Exhaust. Race inspired, trail proven.
So because the snow conditions were so great in the area we were riding in Hunter's Range, it was going to be unload same spot. We got a little bit further up the hill into the snow because snow bikes they're tougher to ride when you hit some gravel and some dirt. They become very tough to ride. So Tyler got us up onto the snow and we were unloaded, geared up. I got my new FXR pants on, these pants that are designed for riding snow bikes. They got leather on the inside and don't melt, don't burn. And so I'm testing those out for FXR. I'm pretty stoked to be headed up the mountain and riding a new snow bike.
We've always done some sled stuff. We just recently became the local dealer for TimberSled. We purchased a couple bikes from our local Yamaha dealer, put a short track and a long track on the exact same bike, and we're gonna come out and do a day's shooting with some snow bikes.
So we headed up the hill. It was maybe 20K up that we went. It wasn't all that far. And we were planning to go further, but we didn't have to. There was just such good snow and such good conditions. Nobody had been out, you know, tracking stuff up. The snow conditions are perfect for snow bikes. Sure, it'd be nice if it was a little bit lighter, but again, this time of year with this weather, it was another beautiful day. It was perfect.
When I first seen the snow bike come out a few years ago, I kind of laughed. I didn't think it would be something that would really go anywhere. When I very first rode one a few years ago, I hated it. I was a firm believer that dirt bikes were for dirt. I had an opportunity to ride some of the newer version kits. Kind of got me bugged a little bit. And then when I heard, caught wind that Polaris was purchasing TimberSled, it was one of those things you kind of bail in and roll with it. Customers are asking for it. In our lifestyle and stuff we've ever done with the business, we've never sat back and watched. We've always bailed in and grabbed the bull by the horns and run with it.
You know, if you see a little pop of snow anywhere, you can pretty much just wheelie off it. It's a little harder for me to get these things off the ground because I'm not familiar with them, but it's coming to me a bit. But it's fun just to wheelie through powder pillows and, you know, little trees that are blown over that have snow on top of them. You know, you can spring off that stuff. It's just anything you see, you can hit. One of the really unique features about a snow bike and what these TimberSled kits do so well is get you places that are tighter, more technical, possibly more vertical, and areas that you're just not going to feel, or for myself, not going to feel as comfortable going with a wide sled. These things will quite literally go anywhere. I mean, if you look at it, you can probably get there. You might not want to be there, and when you do get there, you might be a little concerned, but these will go so many places, and they get there with ease.
I would have never guessed that you could take a 50 or 60 horsepower dirt bike and put a track on it and go where they go. I've never really giggled on anything as much as I have until I got on a snow bike, and I've spent quite a bit of time on them now, and I've been places in the last little while that I've never been on a sled.
Everybody looks at the ski and they go, this thing's gonna drop through the snow and I'm gonna go over the bars. Honestly, you can land this thing super hard on the front end and it just soaks it up and keeps on going. I mean, it pops through the snow, you get a little bit of, a little bit of snow dust in your face and it just keeps going. If you want to go somewhere that has just epic riding, ride with cool guys and have a blast any time of the season, you gotta look up Backus, look up all the stuff that they do. If you're looking for cool products, I mean, they make cool stuff, they fab stuff, they build awesome sleds and side-by-sides. They're great guys, great people to ride with, very knowledgeable about this area, and find the spots that are untouched and have exactly what you're looking to ride. So look them up if you're in BC, because this is the place to go, this is the place to ride.
SnowTrax is sponsored by snowmobileinquebec.com. Experience a ride you'll never forget. Trail Tech is sponsored by Princess Auto, a unique world of equipment, tools, and more.
Utilizing all available cargo space is a pretty important thing here at SnowTrax. With all the epic driving that we do to find great destinations in the winter months, we find absolutely no point to having a soft tonneau cover or an open truck bed. And this is where sled decks come into play. With many brands out there, you want to find the one that's right for you and not only fits your budget, but will last, work when needed, and keep its resale value for down the road. And that's precisely why I chose a brand new Marlon Explorer Pro Aluminum truck deck. Many folks don't take the time to explore the differences from deck to deck, but with Marlon, the differences are real, from install to everyday use. And speaking of install, it's pretty simple. The Explorer decks have a built-in adjustable leg mount that simply and smartly allows the deck legs to be moved fore or aft, allowing the legs to line up precisely where you need them every time. Every application and install will be different, but because of this sliding leg design, an 8-foot Marlon deck can actually fit into a 6-foot pickup truck box. And that means just because you trade in your truck doesn't mean you need a new deck. Or should you look to sell your deck down the road, the resale value is much higher due to its universal design. So now that the deck is bolted in, I can actually show you what it's made out of and all the cool features that truly set this thing apart. The obvious, it's all aluminum. While the Explorer standard version does have a wood top, the Explorer Pro features all aluminum decking and my personal favorite, the Super Glide ski guides. The Super Glides ensure you don't carve up the aluminum, allow your skis to find a groove and stay in it, and also offer great traction for your boots when going up and down the ramp. Additionally, the Explorer Pro offers not just the standard front dual super clamps, but the rear super clamp, super track, and tie downs, so you can secure just about anything you put up there. Now, one of the big differences on a deck like this are the side extrusions. Yeah, they slide, but it's the way that they slide that really makes a difference. The last thing you want is a stuck side extrusion, and I've seen it many times. To combat this, Marlon builds what I think is the smartest slide system in the industry, with built-in UHMW, or ultra-high molecular weight inserts inside the sliding channel. This means the inner aluminum extrusion does not contact aluminum, but a very durable and smooth UHMW surface. And the results are a smooth slide every single time. The Explorer Pro deck is set up to take 2 sleds in different configurations. You can put one down the middle, and there's enough Super Glide track there for that, or you can do the 2 with the sides slide out. Any way you do it, the ramp is really easy to use and works well slid to the left, the right, or the center. A really smart telescopic aluminum ramp sits nicely under the deck on an integrated storage tray and features, just like the deck, built-in Super Glide ski guides and evenly spaced aluminum track bars. The ramp is light, easy to pull out and hook on, and even easier to walk on because of the added traction the Super Glides add. And yes, this is all part of the Explorer Pro kit. Once you're loaded up, it's as easy as finding the ramp guide and a quick lift and push, and you're on your way. The overall look and design of the Explorer is clean and functional, and while I'd be happy with it as it sits right now, the truth is, there's more features. So lights are a big benefit, because let's face it, we all want to ride every available minute of sunlight, but loading up can be a pain with just your truck's rear cargo light. Marlon's got you covered. With nothing more than a super slick trailer plug-in, you're ready to load up at night. Built into the aluminum headache rack are a cool group of LED loading lights turned on with a single switch at the back of the deck. Honestly, how cool is this? Because it's a simple trailer plug, you also get the use of your rear LED brake light and side marker LEDs, and you don't have to cut, splice, or wire a single thing. Loading up has never been safer or more convenient. Whether you're in need of hauling more sleds than your trailer can accommodate, or you just want to maximize the sled carrying capabilities of your truck, there's really no better functionality than a Marlon sled deck.
Closed captioning of SnowTrax is sponsored by TRITON Trailers, built for adventure.
When I think about iconic Yamaha snowmobiles from the past, there's one that comes to mind for a number of good and not so good reasons. That model is the SRX. Why was the SRX so good? Because it was just so darn fast. As a 700, it routinely blew the doors off 8 and even 900s in its day. Why was it not so good? Well, it rode terrible and didn't handle much better. Yamaha's introduction of the Sidewinder seems to have a bit of throwback to the almost comically ridiculous speeds of the SRX, in that it too will blow the doors off of almost any other snowmobile on the snow, except that this one rides and handles equally as good. The Sidewinder model refers to any Yamaha with the new 998cc turbocharged and intercooled triple under the hood. It would be easy to assume performance was the only consideration when Yamaha sat down to build this monster, but that would be incorrect. The truth is, the goal for the Sidewinder's engine was to make it incredibly powerful and fast, but also 100% rideable on the trail. It almost seems like a pipe dream. But it's not. This engine is incredible in how seamlessly it transitions into the boost on acceleration. Turbo lag is nearly non-existent. Throttle response is immediate, and the power band is smooth as Trump's comb over. With that said, when the boost does hit, it hits like a baseball bat to the gut. The Sidewinder pulls so hard through the mid-range and top end, you'll wonder if it's ever gonna quit. So it's fast and smooth and has no turbo lag. What about the rest of the sled? Is the rest of it any good? The answer to that question is entirely subjective, and by that I mean, it all depends on what model you're riding. The Sidewinder XTX 141 we have here is an interesting mix of both on and off-trail components designed to provide excellent performance in both riding scenarios. The full 42-inch front end is the same as what's found on the trail sleds. The seat is also a trail unit. Out back though, this version of the XTX is equipped with a very mountain-derived 141-inch skid frame. It also has a mountain bar and riser. Here's what I know about these components on their own. When set up with the right shock package, this front end rides and handles amazing. In fact, we have nearly nothing negative to say about it at all, with the right shocks. On the mountain, Yamaha's mountain skid frame works great. It exudes all the positive attributes you'd want, and we have nothing negative to say about it when it's steep and deep. Here's the problem. As a true-to-definition crossover sled, the XTX's 141-inch skid frame works pretty good off-trail, but not so great on-trail. In fact, it rides downright not good. The front end handles well, but again, doesn't ride as good as we know it can due to its Fox Float 3-air shocks. We know with a proper set of shocks, this front end can ride great. If it were a narrow front end like the BTX has, air shocks make sense, as that sled is more targeted to off-trail. But the XTX has a full trail width front end, which suggests it's targeted at least 50% on off-trail. So what's the solution here? Easy. If you have any intentions of spending any considerable time on the trail with your Sidewinder XTX, Yamaha offers a 137-inch version with a 1.75 paddle, trail skid, and QS3s. This is a great trail sled. It's more than adequate off-trail, and it rides fantastic. If you're sure the 141 is what you're looking for, it does offer a number of great features that make it really well suited for more off-trail focused riding. The 1.6-inch paddle is a perfect compromise. The tall riser and mountain bar are perfect for stand-up riding. Rounding out all the new stuff found on the Sidewinder, no matter what model you choose, is a brand new set of clutches. The primary has some less visual but noticeable changes, but the secondary is now a roller unit that solves all of the backshifting problems we felt existed with the old clutch. I know it seems like I've been pretty hard on Yamaha's Sidewinder XTX 141, but the truth is, I think this is a really good snowmobile if the potential buyer understands what its strengths and weaknesses are. If you're an off-trail rider who just uses the trails to get to those off-trail spots, the 141 is a good choice for you. It's capable off-trail, it's almost unbelievably powerful, and it's comfortable. If you're this type of rider, what more could you ask for?
SnowTrax has been sponsored by Polaris. See endless possibilities. Arctic Cat. Share our passion. And by Northwest Ontario. What are you doing this weekend?
If you enjoyed the video that you just watched, like it and then subscribe to our page for more great content from SnowTrax TV.